because I'm an older sister as well.
Oh yeah, the three of us are older
I
sisters
We're
see
all
actually
that.
in real life.
all 4 of
In real
us.
life.
All
Yeah,
4
all
of
four
Four
of
of
us.
us.
Older sister energy.
Sabrosura pa' ti que.
Hola, manis. Welcome back to Café con Pam, where we share our stories over cafecito. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, do all the things so you never miss our cafecito time. Y bueno, of course, for more incredible stories, you can tune into the podcast Café con Pam. El día de hoy, we sat down with the powerhouse Latina trio behind Las Tres Sisters, Marta Méndez Cross, Valeria Maldonado, and Virginia Novello. These talented women not only star in the film, but also wrote and produced it, bringing to life a heartfelt story of sisterhood, resilience, and self discovery. Marta, an accomplished actress and writer, has worked across film, TV, and theater, including projects with Hallmark and Lifetime. Valeria, known for her role in Coco and her extensive work in Hollywood and Mexico, brings her unique cross cultural perspective to the industry. And Virginia, a Mexican Italian actress and filmmaker, has used her craft to tell impactful stories from independent films to powerful social justice projects. In this interview, we dive into the making of Las Tres Sisters, what it's like to be Latinas in Hollywood, and why supporting films like this is so important now more than ever. Let's get into it. Here's the conversation. Welcome, welcome, Las Tres Sisters. Welcome to Café con Pam. How are we doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're very, very
Yeah.
excited to be here together.
Yes, very excited.
I'm fangirling because I've been listening to you for a while, and you're so profound, and your guests are as well. So hopefully I sound smart and
Well,
smart.
I'm fangirling with all of you because you've all done so much. And I'm like, where do we
Yes.
even begin? But we can start with the movie that's coming up, Las Tres Sisters. I have to tell you, I was so excited because I thought I was going to laugh a lot, and then I ended up crying. That was a plot twist I was
Surprise!
not expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. That was on purpose. That was on purpose. We always said that it's a comedy with a heart because we get you by laughing and then we stab you
I
with
know.
And
love.
then we
We stab you with love. But it's, like it's so grounded in so many beautiful, real things, but it also has a lot of comedy and a lot of fun. So, people need to laugh. People need to have a laugh, but also you can see yourself reflected on it, on the
Mhm.
real life issues that we have in the world and life with our sisters, with our families, with our cultures, like all the things, right? And so we just wanted to do both. And so we call each other a dramedy,
A dramedy,
um,
yes.
a dramedy or a comedy
definitely a
with a
dramedy.
heart. So yeah.
Yes.
For sure. And I'm curious because I don't want to spoil it. So there's a lot of layers, and how was it for you to decide what stayed and what didn't? Because I'm sure when it comes to content, I often think about Latinidad and growing up here and growing up there and visiting and the language. And so, how was it for you to work through the movie and decide this is something we share and this is something we don't? Did you come across this?
It took us only 6 years to write this.
Oh my gosh.
So there was so much that didn't make it, and there was so much that was added throughout these 6 years of writing that we would be like, oh, this, and then be like, oh no, we don't feel aligned with that anymore.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of trial and error. It was once we did start to get closer to production, getting, like director's feedback. And then, I mean, something that is like just very practical, it was COVID. So we shot this end of 2021,
Oh my
and
gosh.
we had to also like do a rewrite for COVID purposes. And kind of, like cut down a lot of like big scenes with a lot of people. And I think that also made us even more intentional with what we wanted to say, right? It was like we know we want to say this. We were saying it in this other way, but so then how are we going to say it now? We want to say it like this specific way. And even like, a night before we'd shoot, we'd be going over the script and being like, like what about this and what about that? And also getting collaborations with, like, for example, Cristo, who's one of our lead actors. And just like we were incredibly hands on with the script. And so, I mean, yes, I can't tell you like one specific way, but it was a constant revision.
And also in post production, because they say that a movie gets written
Claro.
3 times, right? It gets written in the script, it gets written when you shoot it, because a lot of things don't make it from the script to the shoot, and then it gets
Mhm.
written again on post production editing. And so there were also a lot of things that were left in the editing room because the first cut of the movie was 3 hours.
Wow.
One of the scenes that got edited, deleted, for example, is how do you say tamales? Singular.
Oh, yeah.
It's tamal,
Claro.
right? Uh-huh. And a lot of folks here say tamal. Even Latinos will say tamale instead of
Yeah, yeah.
tamal.
Tamale.
And
Mhm.
so it's and Maria, my character, who grew up and never in the U.S. and never had been to her own country, was like, "I'll take a tamale," and then she's like, "Rojo o verde?" She's like, tamale." No, pero con tamale rojo, tamal rojo o verde, and I'm like, whatever you say is great, So it's from the lens of one, like Virginia, her character Sofia grew up in Mexico, or moved there early on, and she was very connected to her roots. And then our two characters, Valeria and myself, didn't have a huge connection to our roots. And how do we discover our roots? By visiting Mexico through our grandmother's pilgrimage, who was first generation to the US and always told us about the spiritual pilgrimage she took with her sisters through Mexico. So there was a lot of conscious effort in every single line that was written, a lot of conscious effort. And even in the comedy, is this stereotypical? Is this going to reflect us in a positive way?
Mm.
There's a line where a very handsome cowboy ranchero comes up, Gonzalo Garcia Vivanco. And he says,
Nombre de telenovela. Like
I
for
Es
see.
actor de
He's
telenovela.
yeah,
Sí,
he's
sí,
an
sí.
he's a soap actor. Yeah, 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 totally. Hmm.
And I'm afraid, because my character's afraid, because Sophia is going to go with this stranger on his horse. And I'm like, you can't go with the stranger on a horse. He could be a killer. And he says, I'm not a killer. Yo soy ranchero. And that line is very intentional because of the way Latinos are portrayed here in the US. Like,
Mhm.
we're not killers, we're not drug cartel, we're not here to do crime. Some of us, we're just families, rancheros. We're all sorts of things. And so they're all very intentional to represent our culture
For
in a
sure.
very positive way.
I think it could totally be a series. There's so much depth to each character.
Ooh.
We heard that before. We definitely heard that before. And listen, if anybody is interested in the show of this, we could. I always say I could play Sophia forever, like forever, like forever and ever.
And I'm sure she has stories,
Oh,
like
we and the three of them actually we did started to work on at some point on the
Well,
TV show.
Sony International wanted to make it a TV series.
But now after the movie though, we also got some interest, and so we
Yes.
did after the movie we did like a little bit of a treatment of what would it look like, because we have very clear ideas of what happened in their past, because it took us 6 years to
right.
do this. So
Mhm.
we couldn't put everything in the movie about their past and their relationship and the thing. And so a lot of people are like, I want to know more. What happened to them as kids? What happened to them? Like, what's the relationship with their father? What's the relationship, what happened with their mother? Like all of these things, that it would be great for a TV show. So if anybody's listening and wants to.
Yes, we agree. We agree with you. We think it would be an amazing TV series.
Because I feel like I wanted to know more about each sister, and even
Mhm.
the dynamics of the eldest daughter and the youngest eldest and the middle problem child. That's like all the things. And I don't know if I was kind of like I was always connecting like, oh, that's a very eldest daughter thing to do, or that's like
Mhm.
a
Mhm,
very
mhm,
like middle problem, like
mhm.
middle child always
Mhm.
feels left out.
Do you have sisters?
I am the eldest, and I have a
Ah,
middle
Uh-huh.
sister and a little brother.
ah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
little that he's 32, right? Didn't know he's a little brother.
So little, so little.
he's the baby. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, one of the things that we wanted to portray is like siblings dynamics, specifically
Mhm.
sisters dynamics, are so complex. Marta has two sisters. I have one sister, and Valeria has a lot of. She grew up around cousins as well that
And I
were
have a younger
sisters,
brother.
and he has a younger brother. And so my mom had three sisters, and so I always saw this relationship of women that grew up together with such complexity because they love each other so much, but they're so different, and there's so many undercurrents of things and codependencies and stuff going on.
Yes.
And I've always been fascinated by that relationship among women that are our sisters. And so we kind of jump into that because we wanted to explore that. You can love your sister so much. I always said that, like, my sister and I, we love each other so much. But if you would have put us in a room together, we would never be friends because we're just so different. We don't have barely nothing in common except that we're sisters, and that is a lot of the dynamic, especially with Sofia and Lucia. Is like they might have, they just not, they wouldn't be friends, right? But
No,
they're sisters, and they have so much past and so much things that they have to work through because there's so much love.
For
And
sure.
that is the difference between a friend and a sister, right? Is like the depth of the past, the depth of growing together, and the depth that unites us together.
I'm telling you, it's a whole series. There's so much, like, each character has like a whole thing. I love character development. I always like dig deep into when I do illustrations even and I draw people, I'm always like, what is the story behind them? And so when I watch movies, I love like thinking about what's the story behind them. So I think this one is like, you have so much.
I love
From
that
your
you're
lips,
so
from
proud.
your lips,
Yeah.
please.
yes, from your lips.
Yes.
What I have a question. Do you have? Is there? Because I'm an older sister as well.
Oh yeah, the three of us are older
I
sisters,
We're
see
all
actually,
that.
in real life.
all four of
In real
us.
life.
All
Yeah,
four
all
of
All
us.
four
four
of
of
us.
us.
Older sister energy.
I'm so curious if you related to anything.
Well, I think the decision, like when Maria called, like, we're going, that's like a very eldest daughter decision that I connected with because, like, for example, my brother's birthday was this week and I was like, what do you want to do? And he was like, I don't want to think about it. And I'm like, okay, so we have a plan and we're going to dinner today and it's all planned. Nobody knows what we're doing, but it's all planned. So that's a very eldest daughter decision that I love that it was like shown because it's
Yes.
something that it's not always like portrayed. And I think it's very Latino, very like people of color family types. And on the other end, the youngest who takes care of the mom,
hmm
right? Like
Yes.
that's the other dynamic, the youngest
Yeah.
eldest.
I love youngest eldest. I love that.
Because
Yeah.
it is like in my family it's completely different. Like, I'm the oldest, but I don't take the oldest role, really. I'm the one who left, and my brother, since he was young, he stepped into that role of the eldest. And right now my sister is taking over that role, so I feel like it also changes.
Mm-hmm.
When you grow, it changes. My sister has become the oldest sister right now in the family, and it's wild to see. And then the one that doesn't change is like my little brother, who's the youngest one, who's always like the rebel and the fuck up and like the whatever.
Right.
And he has stayed steady in that role for a long time.
He's committed.
He's
Yes.
He's
committed to
committed.
staying there. And I have and me and my youngest brother are kind of like really connected because we connected through being sort of the black sheeps and the sense of being the rebels and doing things differently. And so I think it also evolves and changes.
Totally.
And what happens in a family that makes people step into certain roles. A lot of what happened
Absolutely.
is that I left, and so then my
Mm-hmm.
brother had to step into that space. And so it definitely changes.
I love that concept of youngest eldest. I'm going to present it to my brother. My brother's 10 years younger
Wow.
than me. And recently, like over the last couple of years, we had my mom being sick and he stepped into the older brother. So now I call him older brother. I'm like, older brother, what do I do? And he's 10
Mm.
years younger. But
Yeah.
he took on this like caretaker role that is beautiful but I love that concept. Yes, he's the youngest eldest.
I have
hmm
a lot of my friends are the youngest daughter. And so
Mm,
I see them taking that role because the oldest
yeah.
brother has a family and kids.
hmm
And I think it's
Yeah.
women, like, I mean, we're
Yeah,
going to
it's
get a
mostly
little bit
women.
into like Marianismo, and like the gender
Mhm.
dynamic, but like
hmm
talking to friends who are the youngest, they're like, yeah, they would never put that responsibility on him having an
Mhm.
older brother, because it's like he has kids and he has like his own
Work.
family to take care of. But the younger is always like, now you're in charge because
Yeah.
the oldest left. It's
Yeah.
really fascinating.
I mean, we had a premiere. I have an older brother. I'm not the oldest. I have an older brother, but I'm the oldest sister.
Mm.
And we were premiering our movie, red carpet. We'd been waiting to show the city at a festival, at the Lali Festival here in Los Angeles. And my mom's appendix burst. And I'm the one who goes into action always. And I am very stressed, and I'm trying to get like ready and get to the carpet and, and enjoy this beautiful moment. But my mother's health, of course, is first and foremost. And she's in Texas, but I still take care of everything from Los Angeles. I finally just go, what am I doing? I said, because she also takes care of her Alzheimer roommate. So I'm trying to take care of that too. And we're about to go to the carpet. And I just text my brother. I said, brother, I need you to figure out someone to take care of mom's roommate. And I need you to make sure mom get these questions to the doctor. This is what you're going to do. He's like, I'm on it. But he's on it because I told him to. He didn't think to jump in. I said, hey, everybody, this
Yeah.
is what's happening. So absolutely. Sorry. We're another movie. We can do another movie off
Yes. The series. I'm liking the
the
series also.
series.
So let's switch gears a little bit. So all of you are Latinos in Hollywood.
Mhm.
How has it
Mhm.
been to, and do you all have like a whole repertoire of like history of awesome things that you've done, which I probably would love to bring each one of you to just dig deep into your story. But based on the challenges that we are, I mean, the reality is our existence is political right now. And so how have you navigated it, your existence in Hollywood, and how are you looking ahead without being like silenced as they want us to be?
You know, we've been thinking recently a lot about, it's taken us 9 years to get this movie done and to get it out. And we've been talking a lot about like why, there's a divine timing for everything. And for some reason, this movie is going to come out right in the middle of this political situation that we're in, of our community trying to be silenced and to be, just portrayed in a very, very horrible light. And I think it's perfect, and I think we're here to show that, to show like, no, we don't have to be quiet, and we're beautiful. We are such a beautiful community. And so, for sure, I mean, being in Hollywood, I have, and I'm sure they have as well, played a lot of stereotypes. Played a lot of, when I moved here. I played gang members from New York, or like a bodyguard. I played all of these things, and so I think it's one of the biggest reasons that we decided to take this into our own hands and create our own content, was because there wasn't the characters that we wanted to portray out there. Then they were usually like, just one dimension. They weren't a human being that happens to be Latina. And so I personally am hoping that this project and other people's projects come out so that we have a different representation in the media and we have different things to choose from, but also more specifically right now, that the community can see themselves reflected. It's a powerful thing to see yourself up on a screen and to be like, yes, that's who I am. I'm not a cartel, sicario, and I'm not a criminal. And so I'm hoping that with this we can at least take one step forward and in changing how Latinos are represented in Hollywood.
For me, it was like a different experience than probably Marta and Valeria, because I didn't play stereotypes because they didn't let me. It was kind of like the opposite thing where a Latina cannot have blue eyes, so I wouldn't be cast as a Latina ever, ever, ever. I wouldn't go for those roles ever. I had to work a lot on my accent because of that reason. They were like, you will never play that. And so that's why I started writing. I started writing about 15 years ago because I was like, well, I will write my own roles. Then F it. And part of the roles is, and part of like the reason also why we wanted to do this movie is that there is diversity as well within the Latino community,
Mm-hmm.
and the three of us are not, but we have the the Afro Latinos, we have the ones that have lighter skin, like me, because yeah, like especially people from Jalisco, which is where the movie is. We have a lot of that because we got all the Spaniards coming in there, so we have all types of different bloods. We have different relationship to it. And so we wanted to integrate, because they're like, oh, you guys don't look like sisters. Listen, I don't look like my own sister. My
Right.
sister is dark skin, dark eyes, dark hair. I don't look probably like any of the members of my family, except probably my mom.
Yeah.
And so I always heard like I was the milkman's daughter, and in some sense, but you can still be related. I still
Totally.
feel like a part of the family, except like I look a little different. I have blue eyes. I have this stuff. And there's diversity within that, in the Latino community. We don't all just look one way. And that's also one of the things that we wanted to portray besides that. And the beauty of Mexico, which was also so important to us. We said that Mexico is our fourth sister in the story because we wanted to portray how beautiful Mexico is. Picking up on Valeria, it's not all the gangs and the stuff, but also the people are so beautiful and open-hearted and giving. Even if they don't have anything to give, they will give you. And we wanted to show that, so my experience was a little different, but still we unite in the same um, fight, I guess.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's so key. Like my sister, people always talk to her in Persian, in Arabic, and because they think she is Middle Eastern, and we don't look alike. To your point, because we are so mixed.
Well, I'm just, on mine, this is in general. We're not unique in terms of being storytellers writing about, the Latinx community. People are writing and people are trying to get their stories made, but Hollywood isn't buying them. They only
Mhm.
want to buy a certain type of story. So we keep seeing that story told over and over. And we talked to UTA and they, passed because they said it doesn't fit in our foreign package, even though this was made for Latinos in the US. We talked to distributors and they're trying to figure out where does this movie go because it has a little bit of Spanish in it. We try to get into the biggest festivals and when South by Southwest, which would have been my dream festival to get into because I'm from Austin, used to ride my bike through there, dreaming about being there. We asked for a meeting with the head of programming that was in charge of the Latino content. And we said, listen, it's not about you. And he did take the meeting. And we said, and he's a Welsh guy, white Welsh guy.
In charge of the Latino content.
Yes. Yes, and and I said to him, I said, "Listen, we need allies. We do need allies. And yes, you're an important decision maker, but look at your programming. You have one film that has Latinos in it, and it has a white producer and director. So you need to think about what your program, unless it's like it's got Spanish speaking or it's about a certain type of really dramatic, heavy story that's coming from across the border, whatever it might be." And he goes, well, we're artsy, this is what film festivals are. And I said, you know what the distributors asked us? What big festivals are you playing at? So Hollywood is looking at what you're buying, and you have a responsibility to show Hollywood what they should buy. So we're not just making movies and we're not just telling stories. We're telling Hollywood what stories are worth being told, and that's money. You have to make money
Yeah.
on those, right? So
Mhm.
we're behind the scenes, like before we even got here, we're working on, partnerships with Susan B. Komen, which is, breast cancer organization. We are working 24/7 to make sure that this film gets seen. We're not just giving it to someone and saying, hey, here, get this film out there. We're emailing everyone we know. I cold emailed you off of being a fan of the podcast. Like, help us get the word out because it's not just about writing the story or seeing there's a hole. It's about changing the way the industry buys Latino stories because they are the ones that are in power to get it out there, right? In the big way. We can do it on our social channels, but that is, that's part of us making this movie is to change Hollywood. We might be dreaming big, but to change Hollywood.
One step at a time, one story at a time.
That's right.
Right,
That's right.
right.
And I think it's a great invitation for having creating the awareness that, I mean, Latinos, we have $1.3 trillion in GDP. There's money there. And I recently had a conversation with a potential sponsor who was like, you look very DEI, and I'm not interested in that. And I'm like, ooh, but
Oh,
what you're not seeing is
wow.
the power that my people have. And so
DEI is a gift, honey. DEI is a
And this is a
gift.
Latino, which is like the saddest part.
Ay, no, por
Oh
favor.
no.
No me
Hmm.
digas.
Yeah. And I think with your invite and what you're sharing is it's almost like the only way to make it out there is for us, like don't have anyone to save us, is to get
Hmm.
together and
Yeah.
support each other and just
Yeah.
keep pushing at it, because if we don't do it, then nobody else will.
Especially right now,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
nobody's coming to save us. So we might as well gather together and do this. A lot of programming directors, like from Nalip and other places, they have told us, like, the problem is that Latinos sometimes don't go see their own Latino movies.
Which is so
And so that
sad.
is which is so sad. And that is a problem because, the Black community does that. They rally all of them and they watch their content and, they rally with it. And we have to do the same. If there's a Latino movie like Blue Beetle, and you have an option to see Blue Beetle or Captain America, go watch Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
you know, it's like, go see that because it impacts us. Like, and politics and all of this, right? Because I always say art is also politics, like however you want to see it. I just say that also, like, all the movies, all the big movies, they have a message. And so everything in art started as a political stance to something. And so it cannot be removed from it. It cannot be removed. If people just want to be entertained, they still are thinking about something, then something political within whatever movie you're watching, if you really think about it. So you really have to put your money is where it counts. Where are you
Mhm.
putting your money on? Are you putting your money on the same type of movies that everybody's watching, that's only white people, only white leads? Or are you putting your money on this, of the one superhero who is Latino, who we want to watch more? Is like, where are we? That's how we also vote, with the things that we are actually buying and consuming. It makes a huge difference because of the power that we have as a community, of the way we consume as a Latino community. That's where our power is. And so we have to go and buy tickets for these movies if we want to keep seeing this. Otherwise, people will stop making them and they will disappear. And that is a big chance. And we're fighting over here behind the scenes to not make that happen. And the fight is intense, and the fight is hard. To have our movie play in 150 theaters nowadays is intense. But we're doing that. So now we need you to go and buy the ticket to watch the movie so we can keep making them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just feeling like, whew,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it right now. Come on now, Pam. What is this? You're like, are we starting a movement for Hollywood?
If the doors are not opened, then we have to, like, somebody's sala we can sit at and actually make it happen. Totally. So on that note, where can we go watch the movie?
Yeah. So it's going to open February 21st, which is coming up. And it's going to be in select theaters nationwide. Uh, yeah, all over the country, which, is a big deal.
It
It's
is
a
a big
big
deal.
deal. Right now, we're at about 150 theaters. We're gonna have, all the showings are gonna be up on Fandango. So you can just go to Fandango and you can find a theater near you. It's gonna be mostly, there's gonna be a lot of Latino communities, like neighborhoods, and that's where it's gonna be playing. So we're gonna be like right in your backyard. So, please go see it. But yes, we will be, and of course, the first weekend is the most important, right? The more people show up the first weekend, the more we can stay more weeks. And the more weeks we stay, the more expansive the movie becomes. So you can go up to 450 theaters, and it can then cross into other types of neighborhoods with different types of ethnicities that are there. And so, yes, it's on February 21st, that weekend. Go with your family, go on Fandango, check what the show times are, and just take your family, take your friends, take your sisters, take your brothers, take everyone. We still don't have a date for streaming. So, but also the more people that go see this movie in theaters, the better our streaming will be and the more access we'll have to that. So the answer is in your theater near you.
And if you want any updates, go to our website and you can sign up to our newsletter, which we will tell you exactly where, like, all the updates, where it opens, if there's Q&As, because we're going to be doing a little tour, a little tour.
Nice.
where we're going to be showing up to do Q&A. So you get the chance to meet us and talk to us and do all of that stuff. So our website is www.lastressistersmovie.com. And there is a tab there where you can put your email in, and we will send a newsletter letting you know all the news, when it's coming to streaming, where you can share us, also our social media accounts as at Las Tres Sisters Movie. Follow us in there. We also will be posting there all the updates, where we're going, giveaways, anything that we can do for also you. If you want a special screening for your community, we can also have that. You can also reach out to that. If you see that there's no theater close to you and you're like, I can gather the troops and I can have this in the movie theater, we will make that happen. And like, so anything that, social media, website, all of that, follow us in there.
Amazing. If you're coming to San Diego, let me know. I'm in San Diego.
We are.
We are.
Sunday.
Sunday the 23rd, we're going to be in Escondido, and we're going to have a Q&A in Escondido, and we would love for you to be there.
I would love to be there.
And then I know so far that we're also going to be, I'm from San Diego, so this is why I'm like, I know what theaters we're at.
Nice.
I know we're also going to be in Mission Valley, which is for me so
Nice.
exciting, because that's where I would go shopping when I was a teenager.
Yes.
Before Fashion Valley existed. So yes, we're also going to be in Mission Valley, and at least those are the two theaters that we know right now.
Awesome. Yeah, keep me posted. I would love to like share more and have like folks come, and especially if you're going to be there, they get to ask you questions.
Yeah, we would love to meet you.
Yes.
We would love to meet you in person.
For
So
sure.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we would absolutely love that. And I would also love to say, because we're talking a lot about like go support Latino movies because of the community, but I do want to say that this movie, even if it wasn't a Latino movie, I would go see it. I know I made this like with my sisters, but I love this movie. I think it's so fun. I think it warms my heart. We have seen it maybe 850,000 times, and I still enjoy it. So it's not just to like go support your community. For me, it's like a go have an amazing time. Like have a beautiful Sunday for yourself that you're gonna fully, you're gonna enjoy, and you're gonna just like connect to your heart and laugh and all of these sort of things. So even without the activism, I'm like, this is just something that I think people are really going to enjoy. And that's at least what we're hoping.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh and you're going to feel.
That's right. Comedy with a heart.
Yes.
You're going to have a good time.
Pam is our witness. She can do her testimony.
I was ready with my popcorn to be laughing, and then I was like, oh, wait.
She's like choking on her popcorn.
All my mocos are like, It's so good. It's so good. So, what is next for all of you? Right now, it's the focus of the movie. But what are you excited about looking ahead?
Just excited of what might this happen and opening doors. We all are also trying and figuring it out, what other things in the entertainment industry we can do. I mean, Marta has been directing for a while, and she has a beautiful short that she just directed. Valeria did the art department amazingly, and I produced, and we love to work together. We don't know exactly what's next. We don't have like a specific project that we're like, of course, the series. Listen, the series is already like sort of a little bit set up. So if anybody wants to buy it, we'll jump on that. But I think we are very excited of where this might go, where this might happen right now, because all of our time, literally, it's a full-time job to just get this where it is. So we're just kind of focusing on that and just excited and hopeful of what this can do for us and the whole team. There is literally hundreds of people behind this movie. It's not just us, the amazing director Marnovo and Cristo, and every single person that worked on this movie that made it what it was. I think it also can open the doors to so many people and collaborations that are beyond our imagination. So we're very, very excited about that as well.
Well, that's one of the things we said yesterday. We were talking about Cristo Fernandez, who people may know from Ted Lasso or Venom, Spider-Man. He's blowing up. He's such a star. But he's in our film. He's wonderful in it. He has opened doors for us. And one of the things how we described it is that he opens the door, But then he stands there and he holds it open. He's like, guys, come on, let's
Mm,
go. And we want to do that too. We want any doors that open for us through this film, we want to hold it open for others. So what's next is to keep lifting up our community, and hopefully we can champion stories that other people want to tell. Hopefully we've gone through this. It was a PhD in how to get your film made in Hollywood, and hopefully we can, pass that on, because a lot of people helped us through. So what's next is to keep those doors open and try to get more Latinos through that door, for sure.
yeah, so needed. Are you
So
gonna
beautiful.
do deleted scenes? Something
Oh,
Oh, we
somewhere?
should. We never thought
I'm
We
we'd
in
have
the
a
works.
should.
Hold on, the drive is right here, and that's one of the things I'm supposed to be doing. So yes, we will have deleted scenes, some really good
We
ones.
also have bloopers that are coming up.
Ooh,
So we definitely
yeah.
had so much fun. I had so much fun making this movie. There's so much that we were allowed to improvise, and we just had so much fun. So there's definitely some footage that we can
I'm down
put
for
together
that.
for it.
That would be fun. While the series is being worked on.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you all so much for creating this amazing film, for your work, for the grit and power that you push in representation and showing you so we can see us. Thank you for all your work.
Oh,
Thank
I
you
Thank
love
you
very
for
that.
much.
what you
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. You also give voices to so many people, and so that is beautiful. And thank you for the work that you do. It is so amazing to see also a Latina just giving voices to other people. And we're honored to be on your show. So thank you.
Yeah. Can't wait to bring you all back.
Yes, let's do
Yes,
it.
Anytime.
yes, yes, yes.
Yay.
Anytime.
All right. Well, that was my conversation. Until next time, stay grounded, stay connected, y como siempre, sigue brillando. Nos vemos en nuestro próximo cafecito.
Sabrosura pa' ti que